you have some experience going back a few years with some really key mentors that shaped you, especially in your music career very early on. Why don't you tell people about that?
Yeah, so the first thing happened for me, I went and started drum lessons, and after a couple of weeks, my instructor that I started with moved to Los Angeles and actually played with the Village People, recorded with the Village People. He had been a good musician in Detroit and came out to LA. Well, the shop owner there and my mom they were talking while I was taking my lessons, and they felt really bad that a new kid started at age 14 and then got pushed off to a different teacher. So they gave me to the best guy in the shop. Happened to be a Juilliard grad who was playing on Motown things. And this gentleman started me on a path where when I'm 14, I start playing drums. I'm like every other 14-year-old. I don't know nothing. And by the time I was 16, 2 years later, at my high school, I was passing everybody. And they were all, who is this kid? Why? I was the only one taking private lessons. And Gene Stewart started me on this path that by the time I got out of high school, I'm looking around going, this is weird. What am I doing different than my peers that I was passing them? And the only thing that happened for me was I had a mentor who was guiding me through things that I didn't always like sometimes. I almost quit. My mom talked me into staying, but because I want to play this. And he's like, well, okay, but here's how we're going to accomplish that. And he made me go down to some things. He basically guided me, and I chafed against it. And now I do think it's even worse as an adult. If you haven't had mentors like that then you work with somebody and they want you to go a different direction, it's sometimes a little tougher as an adult. But I had this great experience as a young kid, and therefore I learned the value. And since then, I've spent the rest of my life looking for somebody to help me.